Hi, welcome to the Dukes Institute, three-part series workshop about the SAT. My name is Annie, and I'm the co-founder of the Dukes Institute here in Rio de Janeiro. We have had extensive test preparation experience by providing SAT preparation courses and college-level application consulting since 2006, and we are very proud to partner with Fundação Estudar to provide you more information about this process. This is the first of 3 videos that will cover the SAT in all 3 sections: math, critical reading, and writing. We will discuss test format, show you some question examples, and give you some hints for test day. We believe that with the right preparation, you can score higher on the SAT. So we wish you the best of luck in your journey to find the U.S. college of your dreams.
As promised, now I'll start talking about the SAT and specifically about the math section in this first video. The format of the SAT is really important as well as how it's scored. Then we're going to talk about the math skills that are tested so that you're not surprised on SAT test day. The SAT is comprised of 10 sections. There are 25-minute sections, 20-minute sections, and 1 10-minute section. In total, there are about 3 math sections, but remember, there could be 1 experimental section, so you could get 3 and up to 4 math sections. There are about 54 math questions, 10 of which are grid-in, which I'll explain in a little bit. SAT scoring is very important for you to understand. Your score is first calculated in a raw score by counting the number of correct minus 1/4 point times the number of incorrect. That means you are penalized for answering incorrectly, so be careful. Sometimes it's better for you to omit rather than guess. After the raw score is calculated, it is scaled against all of the students' results and converted into the 200 to 800 point scale that you're used to seeing. This is called equating. That adjusts for differences between test editions and ensures that a 450 on one test is the same as the 450 on another test. Then the score is made into a percentile between 1 and 99, which tells you which percentage of students scored lower than you. Here we can see how omitting answers might actually help your score. In scenario 1, the student answers all 67 questions and omits 0, and on average spends a little over a minute on each question, but answers more incorrectly because he didn't have enough time. He has a raw score of 30 and a scaled score of 500. In scenario 2, he decides to eliminate 12 questions, so he has almost a minute and a half on the 55 questions he will answer, so he has time to answer more correctly, even though he still gets about 12 incorrect. But his raw score is higher, and therefore his scaled score is higher. So don't be afraid to omit. Grid-in answers are also part of the SAT. There are about 10 of them, and you have to write in your answer. They could be in a decimal point or a fraction, so make sure you fill it out correctly. There are no negative answers, and you will not lose points for these questions if you get them incorrect, so try to answer all of them. Make sure that when you fill out the multiple choice form, that you answer it correctly by bubbling in the little oval correctly. If you don't fill it out correctly, it will be considered incorrect. The math section tests up to Algebra 2 and Geometry. The test will even give you the geometric formulas that you'll need. You can use a calculator, but make sure you know how to use yours so you're not wasting time on test day. Remember, international students, that the SAT may test U.S. specific measurements, like 12 inches equaling 1 foot, and what penny, nickel, dime, and quarter equal in cents. Here are the math skills that are tested on the SAT, but you may not see all of them, so it's good for you to at least review what you could see so you're not surprised. Geometry is very commonly tested, and the SAT really likes to mix shapes and formulas. Functions in coordinate planes are also very popular to test. If you're stuck try picking numbers for x. Remember that the equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus b, where m equals the slope and b equals the y-intercepts. Equations are also very common, and you must learn how to isolate a variable as quickly as possible. Substitution and combination method are both ways to answer the question, and sometimes you'll see one might be better than the other. Fractions are tested often, so make sure you understand the rules of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And don't forget what the question is asking. It may not ask for the value of j. It's asking for the value of half j. So be careful when you pick your answer in the multiple choice section. Remember, if you have a grid and answer, you cannot write in a mixed number. If the answer is 2 1/4, you cannot write in 2 1/4, or that will look like 21/4. So you need to convert that into a fraction. Ratios are also commonly tested, so make sure that you understand how ratios can look. Proportions are also seen on the SAT. Make sure that you understand the formula for rate times time equals distance, and also make sure that you're understanding what unit of measurement you are working with. You may have to convert. Data analysis is also tested, but be careful about the units of measurement. They might give you information in percentage, but they'll ask you the question and the answer in dollars. Data analysis could also be in the form of tables, but if they underline anything in the question, pay attention. The information in this table is the total number of copies per week, not each week. So make sure that you know what you're reading. Make sure you know the laws of intersecting lines and angles. You'll notice that often these figures are not drawn to scale, and they do that on purpose to confuse you. Here are some other examples of math skills you might see on the SAT. You could see sequences, absolute value, combinations and permutations, and special functions. You could also see scatter plots and probability. But remember that questions go from easy to medium to hard. So make sure that you spend the time on the questions that you know the best so that you're most likely to get them correct. And don't be afraid to omit, because you will be penalized for those that you get incorrect. Don't forget on test day your photo ID, your registration, number 2 pencils, and a sharpener, as well as an eraser. If you want to use a calculator, make sure you know how to use it, and you should probably bring some snacks and bottled water for those short breaks that you have. The day before the test, make sure you relax, get a good night's rest, and if you're going to a test location that you don't know, make sure you know how to get there. Best of luck to you on test day. If you have any other questions about SAT prep or the college admissions process, make sure you visit us on Facebook. Boa sorte!